Have you ever wondered how far a person can go when nature unleashes its most terrifying force? What would you do if your city, your family, and everything you hold dear were on the brink of destruction in an instant? Cloudy Mountain tells the gripping story of a group of brave individuals who risk everything to fight against an unstoppable natural disaster. It's a tale of fear, love, sacrifice, and ultimate heroism, a true test of human resilience. Get ready for an adrenaline-pumping journey as we dive into this thrilling story. The movie begins in a large mountain in the southeastern region of China, where a railway line has been under construction for the past 10 years. A tunnel is being drilled through the mountain for the railway, led by a geological expert, Hong. One day, after an explosion, cracks appear in the mountain and water begins to pour out rapidly, creating a dangerous situation for everyone. The water is so intense that people are being thrown out by the force. In this moment, Hong, along with his girlfriend and colleague Liu, takes refuge in a cave beneath the railway. They use special equipment to find their way to the cave. Meanwhile, news on television reports that the Indian Ocean earthquake has caused a rise in the sea level, and earthquakes and cracks in the ground have been observed in various parts of China. Hong and his colleagues continue to face dangerous conditions. The railway officer, MS Ding, arrives and informs Hong that the area is highly dangerous and a landslide could occur at any time. Amidst this, Hong bravely descends from the mountain to replace a sensor battery, while his father is on his way to the city. Before they can meet, an earthquake strikes. The earthquake is so powerful that large cracks appear in the ground, destroying huge buildings and derailing trains. Hong, who is hanging on the edge of the mountain, loses his rope and falls into a deep chasm. The situation becomes so dire that people begin losing their lives before they can understand what is happening. Hong, with the help of a rope, takes shelter on the edge of the chasm, but notices a large crack forming in the mountain. After the earthquake subsides, only destruction and the cries of people can be heard around. Yang Bing, unable to remain still in the face of such devastation, begins helping the stranded people with a shovel. He rescues a woman trapped under a car. Meanwhile, Hong sends a drone into the tunnel to assess the situation and records a video. Upon hearing the news of the earthquake, the Chinese government sends a rescue team, who save people trapped under the debris. Yang Bing continues to assist and rescues passengers from a bus. In this way, amidst a catastrophic situation, the rescue work continues with bravery and determination. When Hong sends a drone into the cave to gather information, he calls engineer Haik to inform him that a tunnel has formed in the mountain, which could cause a landslide, putting the entire area in danger. Liu, using the sensor device, detects a large underground cavity and deep water in the area, which could trigger a landslide. Once the rescue team is informed, they begin evacuating everyone from the area. However, unfortunately, Liu is unable to find Yang Bing. By this time, another landslide begins beneath the debris. In the second earthquake, passengers on a bus and their security personnel are caught in danger. MS Ding arrives at the command center and reports that satellite signals indicate that the Yangdang mountain could be further damaged, and if the bridge collapses, the 10 years of work will be in vain. Hong, despite his fear, survives, and upon hearing about the disaster in the nearby town from Liu, he rushes back. Liu informs him that they have fallen into a pit. Hong, staying calm, instructs Liu to take the rescue team to the Hegiang cave, as all the water sources there are connected to one another. Through this, the work continues with courage and thoughtfulness, and the effort to save the stranded people goes on. If the rescue team reaches Hegiang cave, they can easily rescue the trapped people. After some time, landslides start again, and nature seems to be engaged in a destructive frenzy. Navigating through rocks, chasms, and broken roads, Hong moves forward toward his destination. Liu and Hong's father, Yang Bing, find each other, and like a father trying to protect his child, Yang Bing tries to get people out of the cave as quickly as possible. Hong faces the situation with unwavering determination. However, when he comes into contact with water, a flood of old memories rushes back to him, rising like a tide. At one point, when a car falls into the river, he returns to those memories, but understanding the situation, he forgets the past and enters the mountain tunnel. When Hong tries to block the tunnel path with rocks, Yang Bing and the rest of the team move ahead for some distance before stopping at a spot. There, a girl spreads cotton from her clothes, and they realize that the airflow is moving upwards. This means the exit is in that direction, but as they proceed, they find a 44-meter deep chasm ahead. Although this is the only way out of the tunnel, they have a seriously injured person, a woman and a child with them. For their sake, Yang Bing begins tying ropes around strong stone walls, and they try to descend using the rope tied to his waist. Yang Bing sets up a system that makes lifting and lowering heavy objects easier, a crane-like device that works through a wheel mechanism. Meanwhile, the command center reports that a landslide could occur again within 72 hours, and if it happens, the bridge and tunnel could be completely destroyed. MS Ding communicates with the National Command Center and devises a plan to blast dangerous areas of the mountain in advance to minimize the damage. This way, if a landslide occurs simultaneously, the extent of the damage will be much less, as there will still be a chance for survival in other areas. According to MS Ding's plan, they begin to separate the smaller hills in advance to prevent a massive landslide later. Under his instructions, explosives are transported to the dangerous areas of the mountain via helicopter. Meanwhile, Hong continues calling for his father through the tunnel. After the second earthquake, he finds another path leading to the cave where the bus passengers were trapped. Using rock climbing techniques, Hong climbs the steep mountain walls to reach his father, overcoming significant difficulty. Upon reaching him, Hong urges his father and others to leave quickly, as the tunnel could collapse at any moment. In the command room, sensors indicate that the effects of the landslide are reaching the railway tunnel, and the bridge is collapsing, threatening to ruin their plan. After covering considerable ground, Hong and his team reach the tunnel's entrance, but they find that the path is nearly blocked due to the collapse. They begin searching for another route to escape. Meanwhile, MS Ding, the engineers and the rest of the team devise a new plan. They decide to trigger an explosion at a specific point to stop the landslide. Late at night, they prepare and head toward the explosion site. Before Hong's team can find the tunnel's path, the impact of the landslide begins to reach their cave. However, they discover a small water reservoir inside the cave. Hong's father advises him, rather than searching for another path, swimming through this water reservoir is the wisest option. It's better than staying trapped in the cave and dying, but Hong refuses to listen to his father's advice. This is because Hong experienced a traumatic event in the past that causes him to fear water. Many years ago, while taking his sick mother for medical treatment, they both fell into the water during an accident. His mother drowned in the deep water, and the grief of not being able to save her continues to haunt Hong. Because of this, he stays away from water. He knows that if he enters the water again, the painful image of his mother's death will overwhelm him. After hearing Hong's reasoning, Yang Bing, along with his family, stays behind in the cave. Meanwhile, sensor data indicates that another landslide is beginning to form. Specifically, in the Sangvi area, the landslide is heading toward the city. This disaster could destroy Yangjiang City within 2 hours. All divisions of China begin preparations to handle the situation, and Governor Link inspects the entire city, ordering everyone to evacuate quickly. Following this, the people of the city hurriedly begin to flee their homes. A massive flow of people and vehicles is seen throughout the city, and meanwhile, the weather department reports that a huge storm is approaching, further increasing the danger. According to forecasts, rain begins in the city, and landslides are observed in some areas. Meanwhile, Hong, trapped inside the tunnel, notices some of his father's belongings and realizes that his father has entered the water path. Hong also descends into the water to search for his father and fortunately finds him. Together, they exit the tunnel via the water path. A rescue team arrives to help them, and they also rescue other people trapped inside. Hong and his father's rescue is reported to Liu via messages. However, it is impossible to evacuate so many people from the city in such a short time. Therefore, a staff member in the control room suggests that the only way to save the city is to trigger an explosion in the railway tunnel. However, the decision to destroy the railway, which took 10 years to build, is a difficult one. After much deliberation, engineer He and MS Ding agree on this decision to save the citizens. At this time, Hong approaches MS Ding with a new plan. According to him, there is a mountain near Yangdang called Niugan. Hong proposes that if an explosion occurs on Niugan Mountain, it will create a division between the city and the mountain, without destroying the railway tunnel, thus saving both the city and the railway. Hong presents his plan to MS Ding, suggesting that they head to Niugan Mountain with explosives. Following his proposal, they travel by rescue helicopter and reach the base of Niugan Mountain, where they risk their lives to spread explosives along the mountain. Without modern technology, Hong begins climbing the mountain and reaches a waterfall, but as he tries to climb higher, he loses his grip, and suddenly two hands save him. It turns out that his father, unable to watch his son face danger alone, appears at that moment. Together, they continue their journey towards their destination. Meanwhile, MS Ding himself leads the operation, carrying 600 kilograms of explosives, and heads to Niugan Mountain by helicopter. During this crisis, Liu manages to save many children from the mountain's remote areas, bringing them to a safe spot and waiting for the rescue team's assistance. On the other hand, while climbing the mountain, Hong faces difficulties due to the continuous rain, which causes the mountain to become slippery, making it impossible for him to find stable footholds. Seeing this, Yang Bing, unable to find anything to help him climb, anchors himself to the mountain wall and creates support. Then instructs Hong, "Rely on me and reach the entrance." In the end, Hong reaches the mouth of the mountain using this method. But it is seen that Hong's father, with a smile on his face, collapses at the foot of the mountain. That soldier, who had sacrificed his entire life, gives his final breath with a smile to save the people of the country. Honoring his father's great sacrifice, Hong makes every effort to reach the mouth of the mountain tunnel. MS Ding arrives at the tunnel's entrance by helicopter and starts delivering explosives to Hong with the help of a rope. Hong alone manages to carry the 600 kilograms of explosives into the mountain and eventually collapses at the tunnel's entrance. Exhausted and sick, due to the wind speed, the helicopter pilot is forced to cut the rope connecting the mountain and the helicopter. Just 4 minutes before the explosion, the pilot flies the helicopter away from the site. At that moment, Hong only has the final moments of his life left, and MS Ding's phone, which was sent with the explosives to establish communication between Liu and Hong. Hong begins to talk to his loved one in his final moments. Their conversation continues as the time for the explosion approaches. Just before the explosion, MS Ding returns to the mountain's entrance by helicopter, and upon seeing him, Hong ignores all his physical weakness and runs toward the helicopter. Hong leaps from the mouth of the tunnel, but fortunately, the helicopter is close enough for him to grab onto the stand. MS Ding pulls him up with both hands, and just then, a terrifying explosion occurs at the mountain's mouth. The powerful explosion of 600 kilograms of explosives completely obliterates the massive mountain in an instant. As a result, the artificial landslide creates a kind of barrier between the city and the mountain. And after the explosion's impact subsides, the situation returns to normal. The movie ends here. This movie is primarily based on the story of China's railway workers and railway soldiers, who started their movement for the construction of the railway in 1948. It tells the story of the relentless hard work and sacrifices of the workers who dedicated themselves to the construction of China's airports and national highways. Eventually, through their hard work and sacrifices, the completion of the permanent railway was achieved in January 1984. The movie highlights their struggle and efforts. That was today's thrilling movie story. How did you like it? Please let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, feel free to give it a like to encourage us.